Most preppers are stockpiling the wrong thing, not the wrong brand, the wrong category. Because if the grid drops tonight, the first people who get humbled won't be the guys without a $400 bug-out bag. It'll be the people who forgot the boring stuff, the stuff that keeps your house dry, your truck useful, your water moving, and your hands free in the dark. And here's the part most people miss. There's one item sitting in Lowe's right now, usually for under 20 bucks, that can keep you dry, hide your gear, catch water, block light, line a toilet, and help you sleep warmer than half the tactical junk being pushed online. I'm not giving you that one yet. And the number 3 item? You probably already own something like it. But you've been using it like a blanket when it should be used like a wall. And number 1 changes the whole way you think about preparedness. Because when the lights go out, survival stops being about looking ready and starts being about solving ugly little problems fast. If you miss these, you become that guy standing in a Lowe's parking lot at 9 p.m. with a full cart and still nothing that actually matters. So let's do this right. Number 9 is the thing almost nobody brags about because it sounds too simple. A manual can opener, not a fancy electric one, not a battery-operated gimmick, a plain manual can opener. Lowe's carries basic manual options like the Cuisinart hand can opener and even wall mount styles like Swing Away. And yeah, that sounds boring. Good. Boring is what still works when the power dies. You can have a pantry full of chili, soup, beans, tuna, peaches, Spam, and canned chicken. Doesn't matter. If your electric opener is dead, all that food turns into steel paperweights. That's how grid-down mistakes happen. Not with some huge dramatic movie moment, with stupid little failures. You open one drawer, your electric opener won't run, your phone battery is at 12%, and suddenly dinner becomes a problem. And when people are stressed, they burn time. They start stabbing lids with knives. They slice a hand. Now you've got blood, stress, and wasted energy over a problem that should cost you 10 bucks and one drawer of space. That's the difference between people who prepare and people who collect gear. One side thinks through friction. The other side thinks through fantasy. A manual can opener is silent. It doesn't need charging. It doesn't care if the freezer is thawing or if the breaker panel is dead. It just works. And that matters more than most people want to admit. Because the first 72 hours after any real disruption aren't about high-speed escape. They're about keeping normal life moving inside a very abnormal night. You want a gut punch? A lot of people with 3 months of food have no smooth way to access it under pressure. Let that sink in, and if you think that's too basic to matter, wait until you're trying to work in total darkness with one hand full and the other useless. Number 8 is a rechargeable headlamp, not a flashlight. A headlamp, Lowe's has the Cobalt 400 lumen rechargeable headlamp, and that thing solves a problem most people don't even see coming. Darkness is not the real problem. Task darkness is. Big difference. A flashlight sounds fine until you're trying to shut off the main water valve, check the breaker box, carry a tote, help your wife down the hallway, or deal with a dog going nuts at the back door. The second one hand gets occupied, your flashlight becomes a liability. Now you're doing that stupid thing where you hold it in your teeth. Your neck hurts. The beam shakes. You can't see what your hands are doing, and every job takes twice as long. A headlamp fixes that. The Cobalt rechargeable unit throws enough light for close work, gives you multiple modes, and it's the kind of thing you can toss in a glove box, tool drawer, or nightstand and forget about until you need it. Then suddenly it becomes the most valuable thing in the house. Guys who've spent real nights in bad places understand this fast. Hands-free light is not convenience. It's speed. It's safety. It's not dropping screws into grass at midnight. It's not missing a step on a wet porch. It's not fumbling with a tourniquet, a fuse, or a lock because one hand is babysitting a flashlight. And here's where civilians get this wrong. They buy giant lanterns for the room and forget about personal light. That's backwards. Room light is comfort. Personal light is function. You need both. But if I can only grab one in the first 10 seconds, I'm taking the headlamp every time. And don't just buy one. Put one where failure actually happens. One by the bed, one in the truck, one near the panel, one in the garage, because when the power cuts out, you don't rise to your plans. You drop to your placement. Now light buys you time. But time means nothing if the next problem hits your sink, your toilet, or your drinking water. Number 7 is the Scepter 5-gallon military-style water can. This is one of those items that doesn't look sexy on a thumbnail, but it starts making sense the second pressure drops or your tap starts spitting brown water. Most people think they have water because water comes out of the faucet. That's not storage. That's dependency with plumbing attached. The Scepter 5-gallon can changes that fast. It's rugged, easy to carry for its size, built with a real handle, and it's the kind of container you fill before things go bad, not after. Because once the panic starts, everybody has the same genius idea at the same time, then the shelf is empty. 5 gallons sounds small until you carry it. Then you realize two things. First, water is heavier than most people plan for. Second, moving water cleanly is harder than owning water. That's why these cans matter. You can stage them in a garage, a mudroom, the back of a truck, or a shed. You can rotate them. You can designate some for drinking, some for washing, some for toilet use. That kind of separation matters when life gets messy, and life gets messy fast. One of the first things that makes a family crack under stress is not hunger. It's sanitation, dirty hands, no flush plan, no clean rinse water, wet wipes disappearing, bad smell, no routine, morale drops like a rock. A hard water can give you control back. And if you've ever tried to pour water from some flimsy grocery jug in the dark, you already know why cheap storage is fake storage. The smart play is to fill these before the storm, before the unrest, before the boil notice, before the hurricane track bends your way, not during, because by the time your neighbors are fighting over bottled water, you should already be moving stored water quietly and like it's normal. And if water is heavy, communication gets even heavier when phones stop being reliable. Number 6 is a set of walkie-talkies. Lowe carries Craftsman two-way radios with weather features, and this is one of those purchases people roll their eyes at right up until cell service gets spotty. The power's out, and family members are in 3 different places. Here's the truth nobody likes hearing. Your phone is not a communication plant. It's a convenience tool sitting on top of multiple systems you do not control. Tower congestion, dead battery, car charger missing, signal drop, storm interference, network lag, one weak point after another. Now compare that to a set of radios charged, labeled, tested, and sitting where you can grab them. That's not paranoia. That's family command and control. You send one with your wife if she has to walk next door. One stays with you, one goes in the truck, one sits by the back door. Suddenly you can coordinate movement, check on a gate, confirm somebody got home, or tell your son not to come down the block road without praying the network feels generous. And no, I don't care what the package says about 25 miles. In the real world, houses, trees, terrain, and walls eat range alive. That's not a reason to skip them. That's a reason to test them where you live. Most people never do. So when they finally need radios, they are learning buttons under stress. Wrong channel, wrong volume, dead battery, zero discipline. That's amateur hour. A communication tool only works if your household has simple rules. What channel? What backup channel? Short messages. No rambling. Confirm what you heard. Done. The families that stay calm are usually the families that can still talk. Think about how fast fear grows when you don't know where your people are. Now think how much calmer you stay when you can press one button and hear, "I'm good. 2 minutes out." That sentence is worth more than half the junk sold in the survival aisle. But communication without information is still blind. And that brings us to the next thing smart people grab before the noise starts. Number 5 is a weather radio, not your phone app, not social media, not some guy screaming updates online. A real weather radio. Lowe's has sold models like the Craftsman rechargeable weather radio, and even the basic NOAA units in that store can give you something that becomes priceless in a grid-down event. Clean signal without the internet. That matters more than ever now because when something goes bad, the first wave is confusion. Half the people are underreacting. The other half are forwarding nonsense. One rumor says the substation blew. Another says looting started 2 towns over. Another says the outage will be just a few hours. Meanwhile, you don't know if this is weather, infrastructure, accident, or something bigger. A radio cuts through that. A good one gives you no alerts, AM, FM, and on the better models, backup charging with hand crank, solar, or AAA. That means even if the power stays dead, you still have a line to official weather traffic and regional updates. And before somebody says, "Yeah, but I can just use my phone," let me stop you right there. Your phone is for convenience when the system is intact. A radio is for continuity when the system gets shaky. That's the difference. The people who stay composed during an emergency are usually the ones who understand what kind of emergency it actually is. Flood threat, wind event, chemical spill, curfew, road closure, flash freeze, different event, different response. Without information, you waste fuel, you make dumb trips, and you move at the wrong time. A radio keeps you from chasing noise. And there's another piece to this. Hearing a steady voice with useful information does something to the brain. It lowers panic. It gives structure. It makes the night feel less chaotic. That matters in a house full of people, because once uncertainty starts shrinking, your next job is heat, food, and routine. Number 4 is a one-burner camp stove and extra fuel. Lowe's carries single-burner camp stoves, including Coleman models, and I don't care how minimal you think you are. The ability to boil water and heat food fast changes everything. A lot of civilians hear camp stove and think comfort. Wrong. This is function. Boiling water, heating soup, making coffee when morale is crashing, warming broth for someone sick, cooking rice, oats, ramen, or canned stew, sterilizing small metal tools, restoring routine. Routine is a survival tool people laugh at until they lose it. The first hot meal in a cold, dark house does more for a family than most motivational speeches ever will. Now, common mistake. People buy the stove and forget fuel, or they buy fuel and never test the stove, or they leave both buried in some tote behind Christmas decorations. That's not readiness. That's a scavenger hunt. Keep it together. Test it. Know how long one fuel cylinder actually lasts with your setup. Know where you'll use it safely. Know what cookware works on it. Know what meals you can make without thinking, because when stress is high, the best gear is the gear that asks the least from your brain. And here's the deeper reason this matters. Hot food turns an event from we're getting crushed into we're managing. That shift is huge. Same outage, same darkness, same storm outside. But one house is cold snacking from a bag while everybody gets more irritable by the hour. The other house has hot coffee at dawn and soup by nightfall. Guess which house feels stronger? Let that sink in. And if you think a stove is enough by itself, wait until you hear why most people use the next item almost completely wrong. Number 3 is a heavy-duty tarp, not because you're going camping, because you don't understand wind. Lowe sells heavy-duty tarps like the BON 10-foot by 12-foot waterproof 10 mil tarp, and most people treat a tarp like one giant roof. They throw it over something and call it good. That is exactly how a lot of people waste it. A tarp is not just a cover. It's a barrier, and barriers control exposure. If cold air is cutting through your broken window, your damaged garage opening, your porch entrance, or the drafty side of an outbuilding, laying a tarp flat over the top doesn't solve the real problem. What you need is a wall, a windbreak, a separator between you and moving air. Moving air steals heat fast, faster than most people realize. That's why field guys talk so much about shelter shape, not just shelter material. You're not just trying to stay under something. You're trying to stop exposure from hitting you in the first place. A heavy tarp lets you section off space, block drafts, protect stacked wood, cover broken glass, create privacy, dark out windows, shield supplies from rain, and even make a fast water diversion line if runoff starts creeping where it shouldn't. And once you start thinking that way, you stop seeing tarp as camping gear. You start seeing it as emergency architecture. One good tarp can turn one room into the only room you need to heat. That is a massive win in a long outage. It can also conceal what you don't want visible. Cases of water, fuel cans, a generator shape, supplies in a truck bed. Most people think preparedness is about owning more. Smart people know it's often about showing less. That's what this item really gives you. Not just cover, control. And remember what I said at the start? A lot of people already own something like this and still use it wrong. Now you know why, but a dry room and a hot meal still don't solve a dead battery, dead chargers, and dead mobility. That's where the next item separates the guys who thought ahead from the guys who just bought snacks. Number 2 is the PowerDrive 400-watt power inverter. Lowe's has this model with 2 AC outlets and dual USB ports. And right now it's one of the smartest quiet buys in the whole store because it turns your vehicle into a limited backup power source. Not a fantasy power station. Not a whole house solution. A practical bridge. That word matters. Bridge, if the grid dies, your first goal is not to power your whole lifestyle. It's to keep critical small systems alive. Phones, rechargeable headlamps, walkie-talkies, a laptop for downloaded maps or documents, small medical gear, maybe a fan in brutal heat, maybe battery charging for tools. That's what a 400-watt inverter is for. And this is where people misuse it. They either expect too much from it and try to run things it was never built to handle, or they underestimate it and only think, oh, that's just for charging my phone. No, it's for extending decision-making time. A charged phone means maps, notes, contacts, stored documents, and backup light. Charged radios mean family coordination. Charged headlamps mean work after dark. A charged laptop means records, plans, and options. You don't need infinite power. You need enough power for the next step. That's the mindset shift. A vehicle plus a smart inverter gives you that next step. Now use your head with it. Understand battery drain. Don't sit there clueless and kill your own starter battery. Know when the engine needs to run. Know what you're plugging in. Think load, not fantasy. But if you do that right, you've just taken the most common suburban weakness, total dependence on wall outlets, and punched a hole right through it. That's huge. Because a lot of emergencies are won by the person who can keep small systems alive one more day than everybody else. And now we get to the one that sounds so ordinary most people walk right by it. Big mistake. Number one is contractor bags. 42-gallon, heavy duty, black. The kind sitting in Lowe's in the cleaning or contractor section, often for the price of a fast food run. This is the item that makes expensive gear look silly. A lot of former field guys, tradesmen, storm crews, and people who've worked ugly environments understand this instinctively. If you can keep things dry, separated, hidden, and contained, you solve a shocking number of real-world problems. Contractor bags do that better than most survival products ever will. You can line a pack with one and instantly improve water protection. You can use one as an emergency poncho if you cut head and arm holes. You can wrap wet clothing to keep the rest of your gear dry. You can line a bucket toilet. You can create a moisture barrier under bedding. You can black out windows fast. You can isolate trash, waste, bloody clothing, or contaminated material. You can protect ammo cans, papers, electronics, and spare socks. You can improvise a rain catch. You can cover firewood. You can pad cold ground with leaves inside one. You can even use one as part of a fast hide for shiny equipment in a truck bed or garage corner. That is ridiculous value for something most people think is just a trash bag. And that's exactly why it matters. The people who stay functional in a crisis are not always the people with the coolest equipment. They're usually the people who know how to get 5 jobs out of one ugly item. That's contractor bags. If you buy only one thing on this list tonight because money is tight, make it that. Not because it's glamorous, because it's brutally useful. And here's the part that should bother you a little. Most people would rather spend $150 on something tactical looking than $15 to $20 on something that quietly solves 10 ugly problems. That is not a gear problem. That is an ego problem, and outages punish ego fast. So yeah, the under $20 item I teased at the start was the contractor bag, and if that feels anticlimactic, that's exactly why it's so powerful. It hides in plain sight. Now, one more thing before you go, because this didn't make the main 9, and it probably should. If you've got an extra vehicle, a truck that sits a lot, a backup battery, or a generator battery you don't cycle enough, look hard at a small solar battery maintainer from Lowe's, something like the little 12-volt solar trickle chargers or battery maintainers they carry in automotive and solar. Nobody talks about these enough, because in a real disruption, dead battery equals dead options. No crank, no movement, no charging, no relocation, no heater in the cab, no inverter use, no quiet getaway at dawn, nothing. People spend all their time thinking about what they'll do when the grid fails, and almost none thinking about what they'll do when their vehicle won't start on day 3. That little solar maintainer is boring. Again, good. Boring keeps winning this list. So if I were walking into Lowe's tonight with a cart and a deadline, I would not waste time pretending I'm shopping for some movie version of collapse. I'd buy what keeps life moving. Manual can opener, rechargeable headlamp, water cans, radios, stove and fuel, heavy tarp, inverter, contractor bags, and that small battery maintainer if I could swing it, because survival is not one big dramatic decision. It is 10 little problems solved before they turn into one big one. And that's the mentality most people still don't have. They prepare for adventure. You need to prepare for friction. In the next video, I'm breaking down the 7 Walmart items that disappear first when panic buying starts, and one of them is sitting in a section almost nobody checks until it's already gone.